Straight Talk 1400 KJFF. We're joined in studio this morning by the Fire Chief of the Hillsboro Fire Protection District, Mr. Brian Gaudet. How are you, sir?
Good morning, sir. I'm wonderful. How about yourself?
Doing well.
Good. Glad to hear.
Things are kind of looking better. We were just talking before we got on air about events coming back and things.
Absolutely. We're excited. Things are starting to kind of move and get back to normal again. It appears that Hillsboro Days is going to be a go. Hopefully the fair and rodeo and all that good stuff's going to be a go. So we're looking forward to some normalcy, as everybody is. For sure.
Everybody wants to see it,
yes,
no doubt.
Do. Yes,
right.
they do. As the vaccine keeps on rolling out and more people are getting it, I'm hoping we see a lot more return to normal for sure. And kudos goes out to our elected officials here in Jefferson County and the health department to work towards common sense measures to make sure people are safe and still keep our businesses open. It's been a good year overall for Jefferson County for sure.
Yeah, I think it could have been much worse.
Absolutely,
but
absolutely.
I think this county stayed afloat during the whole
thing. Stayed afloat,
and
we were shut down for that 1 month or so back last year. But other than that, I'm glad to see a lot of the small businesses are still around, and hopefully they continue to thrive in the future.
Well, when you talk about normalcy, something that is going to be normal once again is an election.
Yes.
We know that we had the mail-in voting last year that
Correct.
took place, obviously for the presidential election in November.
Yes.
Even prior to that, when the other, I guess you want to say the April election was pushed to June, and then you had August and things like that.
Yeah, it was a mess last year,
Right.
that's for sure. But yeah, like we're here to kind of talk about today, we've got that
Right.
50-cent tax increase back on the ballot this year. We kind of felt that things were normal enough to hopefully proceed forward with that. It's really about the safety of our citizens and ensuring that they've got the proper service to survive an emergency incident moving forward. We're understaffed, and we need to ensure that we get that staffing to where it needs to be.
Well, and then you got a population that's growing out there as well.
Oh, man, it's been nuts the past, really the 10 to 15 year mark since about 05. Things kind of slowed down after the 2008 crash for a while there, but there's just new houses going in everywhere, people wanting to move out this way everywhere. My neighbor, for example, has a house for sale, and everybody that's looked at her house so far has been from St. Louis County. So there's lots of people wanting to move out to our area. Hillsboro's kind of a hidden gem per se. You've got the 4-lane highway all the way up to St. Louis County. Less than 30 minutes, you're up in St. Louis County. So we've really grown over the past few years, and I don't see any end to that.
The proposition that you guys are asking for on April the 6th, I think I got that right.
Yeah,
Okay.
correct.
This is you guys had it on the ballot last year.
Yes.
And it barely failed.
We lost by 22 votes. There were lots of things for that. A couple reasons, obviously. I think the election moved, and that is obviously going to affect voter turnout. People were afraid to get out of their house at that point in time, a lot more than they are now. And we kind of understood, and had we had the chance and the foresight to see what was going to happen with the pandemic at the time, we wouldn't have had it on the ballot in the first place. And I basically made a decision to put out a letter to our residents to say, hey, I understand that now is probably not the right time. But I think we've come out on the other end of this stronger as a community, better as a community. Lots of people are back to work. And really the area of Jefferson County is thriving. And we feel that now is the right time.
And like you said, it didn't fail by much. 22 votes
22
out
votes.
of how many? I think there was over 1,000 votes casted for that,
Yeah,
right?
I don't know. It
600 or
600, yeah, it was very, very small
Right.
turnout last go around for sure, unfortunately. But that's, again, everybody was afraid to get out of the house. We didn't know what was going to happen with the pandemic. So, we understand for sure. We'll see what happens this go around. We're hopeful.
Now, you did. There was a sales tax that was passed
Correct.
in 2015.
Correct.
But like you said, there weren't a ton of businesses in Hillsboro at the time.
Correct.
There are a few more now than there were then.
Absolutely. And we've that sales tax was. And here's a problem with Hillsboro. You drive through Hillsboro, you think, oh, it's a pretty big town. Well, most everything's a government building. Most everything is a school, a college. all those things don't pay any taxes. So the sales tax was a chance to help spread the cost of emergency services to everybody that visits Hillsboro, because a lot of people using us were not from Hillsboro. So it really helped out. We held our promise with that. Our promises with that was to create a stream of financing for future replacement of apparatus, which we have that in place, and to open our 2-house again Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 4 p.m. We took a pretty big hit after 2008 with a lot of slow years of no budgetary growth, and it took a long time to recover from that. And I think we're just now really starting to recover from that time frame. That was a tough 10-year period after that for everybody from a budget growth standpoint of view. So, we've held our promises. We have not been to the tax payers for a property tax increase in 20 years. So it's been a long time. We're not one of those districts that takes, going to the taxpayers every 5, 6 or 7 years for a tax increase. I don't like doing that. I don't like taxes myself. But, it's important to the health of a community, the growth of a community, to have your essential services well funded. That's why we're not a third world country.
This is true. Now, let's talk about why this particular property tax is important. Some of the plans that you have to use this extra funding, if it passes, what it's going to be for and such.
Yeah, absolutely. And this whole past 6-month period for Jefferson County has been incredibly tragic on the fire side of things. We've had, in Jefferson County alone, 5 fire deaths since about September and October of last year to this point in time. Obviously, we had, unfortunately, down in DeSoto had the Detter family in October. There was another fatal fire, an apartment fire down there at some point. I'm sorry, I don't remember the exact date off the top of my head. And then to add on top of that, we all responded to assist Potosi with another fatal fire that unfortunately there was foul play involved with that one. But still, we're talking about 6 or 5 people in Jefferson County that died in house fires in the past year. So it's a real problem that needs to be addressed. So what this tax increase is going to do, it's going to ensure that we have staffing at our other station, Station 2, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. You're going to be guaranteed 2 engine companies on duty 24 hours a day. That's beneficial for if one house is out, we have another engine company ready to respond to calls. Previously, we had to wait for volunteers or myself, the deputy chief, to come in and handle calls ourselves, and that takes time. And when you're in a house fire, you don't have time. When you have a medical emergency or you're in cardiac arrest, you definitely don't have time to wait for people to come in. So that's what this is all about, is ensuring survivability of our people and our citizens moving forward, and it will help.
And this ties in with what we talked about from the very beginning, the growth that your particular district has seen with new construction and new subdivisions going in.
Yeah, our call volume has doubled in the past 20 years. We've gone for kind of sleepy 500-600 calls a year to over 1,000 calls a year now, 2 years in a row. And again, this year we're up more calls than ever as well too. So every year we're setting records moving forward. So yeah, the call volume definitely dictates some more help on duty. And it's not only safety of the citizens, it's safety of our firefighters as well too. We're expecting our firefighters with 2 guys on duty 24/7 to rescue you out of a house fire almost by themselves. It's crazy to think about that, and we've lived within our means as a fire district. We're very solvent. We're not in any sort of financial trouble. This tax increase is all about growth of the district moving forward.
Absolutely, and I know there are future plans in place, like a new firehouse was one of those. You guys have already earmarked some property over at Hillsboro Schools.
Yeah, we have. We bought it was 1.8 acres off of the Hillsboro School District. It's literally about 300 feet to the west of our current firehouse. And location is very important with the firehouse. People don't understand that. That affects their ISO rating and their homeowners insurance ratings if we move a firehouse too much. So it was a great opportunity. The Hillsboro School District and Dr. John Isaacson and the board was wonderful to work with to make that deal happen. So we've got the property. It was paid for in cash. We had money set aside to begin that process. So now we just need funding to get a new firehouse. And that's partially what this tax increase is is about. But I want to stress the main goal is ensuring our staffing levels are ready to rock and roll. Without staffing levels, a new firehouse is almost a moot point.
Sure. But, yeah, like you said, staffing is the number one key that you have right now. In the meantime, you do have something that will help out. You guys did get a grant.
Yeah, that's
but here's the thing.
Amazing.
Grants don't last
forever.
They
don't last forever, and we have to stress that. We did get a grant, a 3-year grant from the federal government, totaling a little over $1 million, which is a wonderful thing, to hire 6 full-time firefighters. So basically we got the 6 guys there, and this tax increase would ensure that their jobs are permanent moving forward. They were hired under the notion and premise that they know that this is potentially a temporary position. So there was no thought that this would be permanent at this point in time. But it is necessary, and these guys will, and they already have made a difference by cutting down on response time, minutes on the west side, of our district. And I have received, and it's a great question, why would you receive a grant and take a grant that's not sustainable past a 3-year period? Well, it's pretty simple to me. If these guys make a difference in that 3-year period, they save somebody's life, somebody's trapped in a fire, somebody's having a medical emergency, and they make a difference for these people's lives, it was worth it. How am I going to explain to a mother that her child died in a house fire and that I turned down $1 million grant that could have saved somebody's life? I couldn't live with myself. So we had to take it, and it's worked out great so far. It's been a huge benefit.
And other districts have done that, too. Yeah. I think case in point, I think one of the latest ones that had one that ran out, and I think they did get the funding to keep those people employed. I think DeSoto Rural?
DeSoto City.
DeSoto City.
Yeah,
okay.
They had a SAFER grant, and I think they're still in the period of the SAFER grant, but at some point, was it last year, they received that I don't know the name of the proposition, but the city of DeSoto did vote a public safety proposition in to guarantee those guys full-time position moving forward. So free money is free money. You can't turn that down at all. So it's a great benefit to the community. We work hard to get all the free money and grant funding that we can from every source that we can out there. And I send kudos out to my Deputy Chief, Jason Darian, who manages our grant program, and he does a great job sniffing out those grants, for lack of better terms.
Those are so important at so many different levels.
Absolutely.
Of first responders, too.
First responders, fire, EMS, police. We all have access to various grants. A lot of these grants are all about how you write them and finding those buzzwords and those keywords to become successful. Our thanks goes out to the Memorial Foundation, Jefferson Memorial Foundation. We've received tons of grant money from them over the year, and they're a huge benefit to the community as well.
Yeah, you can see it. I mean, if you're good at writing those kind of things, you'll get it. I mean, the Sheriff's Department gets tons of grants every year. Other agencies get it as well.
Yeah, I would venture to say once in 3 years, once this grant runs out, we'll be totaling close to $2 million in grant funding over the past 20 years. So it's really been amazing. There really were no grants available to fire districts until after 9/11. That's when it's called the AFG, the Fire Act grant, was introduced. So really, we've been hitting it hard and trying to get everything that we can, which saves the taxpayers money in the long run, too.
Absolutely.
So
I actually had an opportunity just last night at a social engagement to talk with a different area fire chief, Jeff Broombaugh.
Oh, Chief Broombaugh's a great guy, yes.
Rock community, of course.
Yes.
And, they have what I think is the largest population coverage
You are
area.
correct, yes. Yeah. They have the largest population-wise. And
all of Arnold, Imperial, Barnhart, and we know there's ton. I mean, that's the one biggest chunk of in terms of population in the county is right there.
You are correct. They're a very busy fire district, and
he said they had 4,000 calls last year.
Yes, they had 4,000 calls last year, and they have 5 fire trucks staffed, 5 engine houses, 24/7. We cover a larger geographical area than they do. We're 44 square miles of central Jefferson County, so we cover, I don't know exactly what they are, but we're doing that with 2 guys. 2 guys on duty 24/7. Mm-hmm. They're doing it with, 20-plus guys on duty.
Right.
24/7.
He said they have 70-plus employees.
Yeah,
over there.
70-plus employees. Right now I have 15.
But that includes everybody. I mean, that's
Correct.
like office staff and and so on.
Correct.
But again, like you said, they have so many on duty at one given time.
Exactly.
What is it? 4 firehouses at least? Maybe 5?
They have 5 firehouses on fully staffed 24/7 with at least 3 guys. So, you're looking 15 to 20 guys on duty at a time, depending on their on their staffing levels. So it's pretty impressive to what our guys do, covering virtually the same amount. And they have 4,000 calls spread out amongst 5 firehouses. We have 1,000+ calls spread out really amongst 1 firehouse. So it's a toll on our guys. It really, truly is.
Sure.
So this is incredibly important to get this thing passed. And one thing I want to point out as well, too, that I wanted to do early on, I apologize. Although we're the Hillsboro Fire Protection District, we have 0 affiliation with the city of Hillsboro.
I was going to bring that up.
The city of Hillsboro has, and I'm not even sure what it is, they have something on the ballot as well, too. And there's been some questions as if we would benefit from that. And the answer is no. We have no affiliation with the city of Hillsboro. We're much like a school district. We have a separate governing body. You elect directors who represent the citizens.
Big difference between a city
and a district.
ran fire department as opposed to a district. And most of Jefferson County is run by fire districts.
Correct. There's a few municipal fire departments out there. Festus, Crystal City, DeSoto City are kind of your main municipal departments out there. The rest are covered by fire protection districts. And at the end of the day, it's really no difference. You're going to pay for it either way, fire protection. But there's a lot of misconceptions that we are run in a department within the city of Hillsboro. We are not. We work well. We work great with the city of Hillsboro. We talk with them regularly, work together with the police, obviously, but we are a separate governed body. We have a separate funding source. What the city of Hillsboro does financially doesn't impact or affect the fire district
Absolutely.
one bit. So that's a tough thing for people who don't understand that, and I get it. It takes a while for even us in this business to learn the different political subdivisions of the state of Missouri.
Yeah, what the city of Hillsboro has on the ballot has to do with new construction and business licenses and stuff like that. Something they never had. Everybody else has things like that.
Yeah,
whether it's Festus, Crystal City, Arnold, DeSoto, they all have those kind of fees that a new manufacturer would pay and so on and so forth. Hillsboro never had that established.
Sure, Hillsboro, they're making some great strides to come up to.
Well, they have one of the coolest mayors in the area.
Oh, absolutely. Mayor Russell.
Buddy's a class act.
Buddy's a class act. Buddy's a good guy. I talk to Buddy. He's in my office at least every other day. Buddy's a great guy. And everybody at the city, they're great people. We work very, very well together on everything, that we need to do. Us, Chief Meinberg and the police department, great folks. And the new inspector over there, Jason Daniels, we've been working hand in hand with him because obviously we have a say in commercial construction projects, and so we work hand in hand with everybody at the city of Hillsboro. So it's a great relationship. It's just we don't report to them, they don't report to us, and we don't share any funding whatsoever.
Good point. All right, exactly.
But we're hoping that. This definitely benefits the citizens, that this Prop 24/7 passes. We had a great Q&A session. We did a virtual one online a week ago Monday, I believe. And it went on for an hour. We had some great interaction from the citizens. We were kind of afraid it would be me and the deputy chief sitting there talking to a blank video screen, but it wasn't. We had some really tough questions asked to us, which I fully expect the taxpayers to ask these questions. They need to. They have every single right to ask tough questions.
They want to know what they're going to help to pay for.
They want to know what they're paying for, and I want to know what I'm paying for. So I absolutely appreciate the tough questions that were asked by our citizens. And we have a full website developed with Prop 24/7 information. It's firesafecommunityprop247.com. It's kind of a long one, I know, but you can go to our Facebook page and find links to that, our website, and find links to that. But we took every one of those tough questions and added it to our Q&A. So it's all on there. We're not hiding from any questions out there. We're a very transparent district. You can find our budget. You can find our audit report. You can find our strategic management plan. You can find whatever you need to find about the Hillsboro fire protection district on our website, and we want our people to know that.
And you came in with this packet of
Yeah.
information, which is about 20 pages long.
Yeah, absolutely.
Of different things.
Yeah, we've got a full plan for this tax increase. The district is well managed by our directors, so we got everything lined out. Our apparatus replacement schedule goes out to 2045. So we're anticipating, we're saving the necessary money for apparatus replacement. And that's another thing that people don't understand as well either. A lot of schools have debt services or various bond issues for stuff. We don't have that. We have two funding sources, property tax and sales tax. We have to take a portion of that money every year and set it aside for fire truck replacement. And a new fire truck costs more than $500,000.
Right.
So we're saving this money, we're putting it aside, or we're doing a lease purchase with that money, something to increase our capital purchases. Without working fire trucks, they don't get out the door. So you can have all the people in the world, but if we don't have a truck, then what are you going to do?
And you just got the new truck delivered recently.
We did. We got the new truck. It is in service now. It should serve the citizens well. These new fire trucks that we buy are expected to last 20 years as well, too. So we have to take care of them. We have to ensure that they're well maintained. It's a long-term purchase that is a lot of money and a lot of thought goes into purchasing these trucks.
Prop 24/7, does it just need a simple majority to pass?
It does. It just needs a simple majority to pass. I want anybody that has any questions to stop by the firehouse and see us. We're open. Come on in. I'll sit down. I'll go over anything, every detail of the district. I'll show you all the financials, whatever you want to know. We have absolutely nothing to hide.
Okay. You guys are very transparent. No doubt
we
about
try
it.
to be. We
Right.
really try to be. I kind of take it as a compliment. We never have anybody show up to any of our board meetings. Come on by. Our board meetings are streamed live online as well too. We usually put a link on our website to those board meetings. Take a look. Come ask questions. We'll get them answered. We just ask people, don't assume things. Come ask and get the real truth, and we'll sit down and we'll throw everything down in front of you.
Appreciate your time. Thank you for coming in today.
Thank you very much for having me. I really do appreciate it.
Our pleasure. That is Hillsboro Fire Protection Chief Brian Gaudet joining us here this morning on Straight Talk 1400 KJFF. And again, don't forget, if you live in the Hillsboro area, Election Day is April 6th. All right, more ahead after this.